Hey TrYumph Nation, welcome to day 2. It's Coach Matt O'Brien here again, and today we're talking about the why in TrYumph is you. I hope you had an amazing first day as we talked about mindset, and we are on our way to your true transformation. Today is an exciting day because we're going to talk about your why and help you discover what it is. Back in 2009, a little-known author and speaker named Simon Sinek gave a TEDx talk titled How Great Leaders Inspire Action. That little talk went on to YouTube and TEDx, and it's had over 40 million views now. And now Simon Sinek isn't so little known anymore. He's got 4 books to his name, and he's one of the most revered speakers on motivation. But back to this talk. In it, he revealed his golden circle with the why in the center, surrounded by the how, second circle, and then ultimately all encompassed by the outer circle, which is the what. And the central premise of his first book, Start With Why, echoed the idea that people don't care what you have as much as they care about what you believe. Let's look at our logo, which we created, the TrYumph Nation. Now it might make sense to you. See this big Y, that's you in our inner circle, which is our why, W-H-Y. Then we have the outer circle, that's our how. And then ultimately, TrYumph Nation is our what, creating programs, facilities, and content that help people transform. But I digress. I want to talk about you, and let's narrow the focus a little and find your why pertaining to this transformation program. In my 20 years working with clients, I've made an important discovery, and this is what it is. All the successful people I've ever worked with had a strong sense of why they wanted to lose the weight or why they wanted to transform their health. They had a purpose that was bigger than themselves. They had an emotional reason strong enough that made failure not an option. Remember yesterday when we talked about the caterpillar becoming the butterfly and how the butterfly can't go back to being a caterpillar? This is the same kind of mindset we're talking about. Unfortunately for some of my early clients, I was slow to pick up on this connection. But eventually the power of this concept hit me square between the eyes, and I radically shifted gears in my own health coaching approach. About a year ago, I came across the IPO process and found that it is an easy way for my clients to connect the dots, and I hope it will help you too. Let's take a close look at this process and how going from inside out completely trumps going from outside in. Okay, follow me over here. First, I'm going to recap Simon Sinek's golden circle, and you'll see the interesting parallels. So this is your why, this is the how, and this is the what. And he likes to explain this in business terms. If you're marketing and you are focused on just promoting what you have, what product, or I sell this beautiful blue shirt, versus selling a why or what you believe in. I believe this blue shirt is going to feel comfortable and transform the world. Not a great example, but you get the idea. But let's talk about the IPO process that I use in health coaching. It's kind of similar in the fact that we have 3 circles with the I in the center, the P, and then the O. So what is IPO? So I is your core identity, or in essence, your why. And this is what we're going to try to dig and find out today. P is the processes that you ultimately follow to get to O, which is your outcomes or results. So unfortunately, most people focus on the outcomes or the results. And in terms of transformation and weight loss, in my experience, people will come to me, I want to lose 5 pounds, or I want to lose 15 pounds, or I want to get healthier. Those are outcomes. And ultimately, when those people we start working on with health coaching, they're going to derail pretty quickly because outcomes or results are just not strong enough to fuel you through those daily decisions and cupcakes in front of you, or donuts at the break room, or lattes with caramel and all kinds of good stuff that somebody's offering to give you for free. If you don't have a why, you're just focused on outcomes, guess what? You're going to eat that cupcake. It's just not strong enough. But if you have a core identity that we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you a couple examples. If you've developed that, it's going to be easy, and you're going to have to trust me on this. It'll be easy to say no to that cupcake or that frappa latte or whatever they call them. So that's the process. IPO. If you focus on this, then the processes to achieve that core identity and the results that come with it, those will be a side effect of focusing on this. So here's the magic. It's another mindset trick, another mindset tool. Focus on this, then you will ultimately get this. So this, we're going to talk about how it actually works in the real world. So let me give you a couple examples. Earlier this year, my wife received a text from one of her from a lifelong friend named Stephanie. They go way back, and the text was a mild plea for guidance and help with her nutrition. And we get these all the time because people know we own a transformation business. So, and Hollie's a people pleaser, as we revealed, or we will reveal in one of these videos. Hollie asked me if I could help Stephanie. So I made the time to reach out, and we scheduled a consultation. Since she was returning home to Chicago in a couple of days, we both had some urgency on our mind, so we met the next day. Before I started using the IPO process, it's highly unlikely Stephanie would have connected her weight loss goals to her core identity. And here's why. We would have talked about her weight loss goals, her past efforts to lose weight, and what her nutrition plan looks like today, or when I was talking to her. Then after doing all of her measurements and her calipers and bioelectromagnetic impedance scale, I would have helped her set some realistic goals and expectations and sent her off with some tools to help. Likely she would have left and been motivated for a couple weeks, but then ultimately she would most likely drift back to the old habits like we had never met at all. And unfortunately, this has happened quite a few times in my early career. But sound the trumpets, because here came the IPO. And since I was using this when I met Stephanie, I was able to dig in and find out what that core identity is. And let me walk you through the process. I basically asked her deeper and deeper why questions to uncover a deeper reason. Why do you want to lose weight? Oh, because, none of my clothes fit. Okay, why is that important? Well, it's kind of embarrassing. Okay, well, why does being embarrassed? Well, I just don't want to go out with my friends anymore. Okay, why is that important? Well, because I don't want to be a homebody. Okay, well, why don't you want to be a homebody? And on and on. You get the idea? Well, ultimately we want to uncover what is the core identity, what's the emotional reason Stephanie was asking for help. It wasn't to fit into smaller clothes, and it wasn't to feel less awkward at the gym or going out with her friends. Those are superficial reasons compared to a true core identity and purpose. And with Stephanie, among the tears and a big hug from me, Stephanie and I discovered her why and her core identity. It was powerful and probably shared by many of you. She didn't want to go through life alone, and she felt incapable of attracting a husband who would want to spend their life with her. Whoa. Now that's a reason. On an even deeper level, we discovered that her core identity is being or wanting to be a mother and having children to love with all her heart. Now that is the kind of why that gets results every time. And that's why I had such a big smile, because we got there. It took some tears, it took some emotions, but I knew once she connected with that purpose, that why, that identity, her results were practically guaranteed. You see, when you ignite your goals with the passion of a powerful why, how you achieve them becomes less important, and successful results are practically guaranteed. So what is your purpose? Do you have a real emotional reason to succeed on your transformation journey? Do you have a compelling reason why you asked for my help when you invested in this program? Let me give you another example that will help illustrate a guy's perspective. About 2 years ago, this real intelligent dude named Bill defected from Orange Theory and came over to our green transformation machine here at TrYumph Functional Fitness. Even though Bill successfully lost 50 pounds, he left the other studio because he wanted to help losing some weight. Something was missing. I was excited and more than able to give Bill the knowledge and tools he needed to get to his goal weight, which was another 50 pounds away. During our initial consultation, I was genuinely curious how he was able to lose the first 50 pounds exclusively working on his own. This doesn't happen every day. So I wanted to know. From years of experience in asking countless others the same question, I know, like I said, it doesn't happen by chance. It only happens when someone has a radical and compelling mindset shift like we talked about yesterday. What was the purpose Bill discovered and that was bigger than himself? So I asked Bill what his why for losing the weight was. Initially he said to get healthier. But when I reframed my question and asked him, what was the moment or event when you decided, no more, I'm going to lose this weight? I could see the light bulb go off in Bill's mind, and he said, oh, yeah, that happened when I got a new job requiring me to fly on planes a lot. And I was like, okay. I speculated why this was an important enough reason. So I asked Bill to continue with the question, why was that so important? He replied, because I didn't want to be the fat guy on the plane pouring over into other people's seats. And then he went on, God forbid I would have to ask a cute flight attendant for one of those belt extender things. And Bill recapped how he started visualizing how having to ask for that belt extender. He could see his shoulders pouring into the adjacent seats. He could hear the neighboring passengers grumbling under their breath. Why did I get stuck next to this walrus? So it's easy to see Bill's core identity by those answers. He is an achiever. He is successful in his work, in his personal life. Visualizing these repercussions of his extra weight was incongruent with his identity and why he had the mindset shift. And even though he really didn't know how to lose weight, his why was so strong, and it was strong enough that he lost the initial 50 pounds. The how, the what, just happened. This is why I said on day one, mindset matters the most. If you can search deep within yourself and find your compelling reason, you will be successful too. You can do this by repeatedly asking yourself why questions until you get to your real why. With each answer to a why question, ask yourself, why is that important? Eventually, you will uncover your true why and your core identity. This is another way to shift away from an external locus of control towards an internal locus of control. So for some additional help, if you're struggling through the process, you can get Simon Sinek's book, Find Your Why, that came out in 2017, or search for Find Your Why on YouTube, and there's many videos that can help you through the process in greater detail. Tomorrow is day 3, and I'm super excited about that because I'm going to give you another tool for your brain box when I teach you my 4 O's to grow system. And I'm super excited because if you have any challenge or obstacle to overcome in your life, make sure you connect with me on tomorrow's video. I'll see you then.